I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Ten by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
Oh, yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? What is?
Good morning, y'all.
What do we got going on here?
I'm here. I'm working on a page from my first manga. Manga.
Are you trying to show off again? Look at the other styles I can do. Look at me.
Yeah, pretty much. I have pen will draw. That's kind of the thing.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah. This is the book that Rich Davis is out promoting right now. It's a book called Angel Hunter.
Yes, we've talked about it. Yeah.
Yes, Rich, or as I like to call him, Ricardo. He's not remotely Hispanic, but I love that. I love calling him that. I've always got stupid names for people, so I'm terrible with that crap. Ricardo.
Well, I want to throw some quick shout outs because you got some people watching. So, hello to Ashley.
Go.
And hello to Matthew. And I haven't looked over at Rumble or anyplace else yet, but the people that are watching on YouTube, hello. And we're live on Build and, Twitch and Facebook, and we're everywhere. So if you can't find us, your ass better call somebody.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Charles said he'd
Yeah,
love to join us, but he's talking to his attorney at the moment.
That's never good.
Oh, it's about
Or it
the
might
car.
be good. Who
right?
knows?
It's about the car.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to go after fucking Progressive because they're an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the insurance companies are like that.
They're always going to
But
try
that's
and
their
figure
whole
out a way not to pay. They're always going to try to figure out a way not to pay. And it's your
Yep.
job to make sure that they do.
Pretty much.
Look, I've never liked insurance because to me it's a gambling scam. I'm betting every month.
Oh, yeah.
I'm betting every month that I'm going to get in a wreck, and the only way it pays off is if I actually do.
Yep.
That's what insurance is. Okay, my mom went to get life insurance on me when I was in my 20s, and I was like, really? Gambling on my life, Ma? I was like, I did it.
Yeah, I've
okay?
kind of always thought, like I can see reasons for having insurance of different kinds and all that. I get it.
Right.
You know, there's a case to be made for things, but it is quite often it's just something that's like, yeah, it sounds really good, but like anything that sounds that good, it's probably a scam.
Yeah. I mean, I've never cared for it, but to me, it was like, I was like, really? You know, it's like my mom thinks I'm going to die at such an early age that she's putting a life insurance policy on me in my 20s. Right. And I'm like, Mom,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
And you're not going to pay that for 50 years, right? You pay that for 50 years to get it $100,000. You're going to give them more than that. Why?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you doing? You know, I just want to be able to pay for your expenses. Mom, you'll be gone. You won't have to pay for my expenses. Chill out.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, Ashley, I know he's always.
Oof.
When you're that good, you can't.
There's Charles.
There, I didn't think.
Charles is here.
What's up, brother?
Hello, good sir. How are you?
Listen to that.
He's crawled out of the
echo.
legal dungeon to come join us.
Listen, Charles. Listen. No echo.
Nothing I can do about it.
No, there's no echo. It's gone. It's wonderful. Listen. You don't hear it, do you?
He has headphones.
Yeah, it's because I got these damn cans on my head, y'all.
Yep.
I hate
That's what
the cans. But
I think he'd rather have a different type of cans on his head.
oh God!
By the
It's
way,
Wednesday, isn't it?
that drawing makes me think of Fist of the North Star.
Trust me, Ashley.
Oh,
she was
shit.
probably right, but I'm good at what I do. So when I'm doing crazy shit, I usually come out on top.
That's what she said.
And she was right.
Oh boy.
I always come out on top.
Damn. Hello, Matthew. How are you doing? Speaking of Matthew, we've been
She was
getting a lot of work done on his book, redrawing it, recoloring it. It is looking great.
Sweet.
Look,
We gotta show it sometime.
Yeah.
I'm positive it looks 100% better than it
Oh,
did.
yeah.
It's no shot at you, Matthew. I know you got taken advantage of by a shitty person. You know.
Yeah, Matthew is cool. And I'm lucky enough to be a guest at his con. We should probably get Les as a guest at his con, too.
You got to get
This is
Chris
so
Brown
close.
down there. Take the Slaughterville stuff down there.
Right. That, too.
That's the guy. Look, I've been trying to get you guys to get together because you guys could definitely benefit.
Well, I can get together for Slaughterville stuff now that I don't have to do the fill-in for one of my clients. So,
Oh, well, we start. I'm not sure if we're starting a new module tomorrow or not, but I think we might be. It depends on how Chris's mouth feels. He had surgery on his mouth last week, and he's
he's got to stop kissing those pelicans.
well, you know, it depends on how well they kiss back, right?
Oh my gosh! So what's happening in this
Ashley,
scene?
she'll be gone by then, and it won't be her responsibility. You see what
Right.
I'm saying?
Now, unfortunately, I will be having to leave early because I have to walk on foot to rent a car. My poor cat has a abscess problem where his cheek is out like this big. You know, he looks like a poor chipmunk.
What did he do?
And-
Eat a spider?
Wait, what?
Did he eat a spider and get bit in his mouth or what?
No, but it smells like rot. It smells disgusting. So there's something
That's
bad.
Charles, always messing with rotten pussy.
Oh,
That's what she said.
I
Got it.
you
I
knew
got
this was coming.
I'd rather be what she said than he said, because then I feel like I was in Thailand.
And where is Matthew's show at? Where's that at?
Oh, it's in Effingham,
Where is that? What state, bro?
Illinois.
Okay.
Effingham, Illinois.
Illinois.
Okay. I know,
Yep.
Ashley.
Illinois.
Don't worry about me, man.
Yes. By the way, how does it feel to be talking to the great creator of Brides, Lord Pops?
Ah,
The what?
ah,
Who?
the book that we the Kickstarter is kind of coming back on Brides.
Yeah. Yeah, it's evolving
Yeah,
into something
we're-
even cooler.
We've it's the situations and stuff with that we're all taken care of, and everybody's super happy. Everything's super cool, and it's in pre-launch again. So
Woo!
and this time completely under, it's like I'm not recruiting anybody to help with it other than Charles and a couple of close people close to me. So, but
Yes.
it's all good. So, sometimes you have to try things to find out where it's going to land, and then you
So
find out, you
different-
rejig things and you move on.
is it
hard
different
feelings.
publisher? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's basically
It's-
us
it-
publishing together.
It's a different publisher. In fact, it is me. Like
Yeah.
I've had my publishing business incorporated for some months now,
Yeah,
and
almost a year.
just decided, you know what? This was part of the consideration on my part was, it's like, if I want total control of my stuff, I need to be doing it myself. And it's just, my nervousness with it has been a thing for a long time. So, this just turned out to be a moment where it was like, you know what? We're going to shift gears and do things differently. And we've got a lot going on with it that I'm real excited about. I think it's going to be great.
I love the whole
Oh.
thing, except for I can't leave it laying around with all my grandkids. That's the only, that's the only reason I don't back boob books is because I can't leave them on the table, right? I mean,
Well, just so you know, man, that's one of the things that's changed is I've removed the not safe part of it. I mean,
Yeah, don't Google it.
I shouldn't say that. It's like a hard PG-13 now. Like there is
Okay.
a sequence in it. I'm trying to think. Did I remove that completely? I think I went in and drew some sheets over her in a couple of shots. I know I did. I'd have to go back and look to be sure. But but by the time it's all done, it will be it won't have any of the objectionable stuff in it like that. I mean, it has some very one in particular very mature sort of moment.
right.
So, but then it's like if you don't let your kids see it, it's more because of the moment than it is the actual imagery.
Well, no, see, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about them picking up and paging through it. I'm talking about just like super suggestive covers. Like
Oh, no,
when they
that's-
were really little, when they were really little, I had my Lady Death stuff on the wall and shit. And as they got bigger, I had to take all that shit down. You see what I'm saying? It's like all the suggestive,
Yeah, well,
skimpy
all of the-
fucking suits and shit. I had to put that shit all away.
all of the not safe for work stuff has been removed.
Sweet. See, now
Yeah.
that puts it in a category that I can back. Do you see
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like I couldn't before,
Oh yeah.
just on what's sitting on the table, because I don't always put shit away. Sometimes just lay it around when the kids come around, It's like, oops.
There was a lot of reasons that I entertained the idea of leaning into that side of it, but that was one of the things that was a misgiving I had a few times along the way. I was like, man, am I going too far with this? And I felt like I was, because that's just not me. So yeah, that's one of a bunch of things that have changed about it that I'm very happy with. And the product that's on its way out now is 100% the vision that I always had for it, and I feel good about it.
And we are. I just signed up as well. The link is in the chat, guys. You go sign up for the relaunch of the Safer Brides.
What's funny about it is, in some ways, in terms of the writing, it's not as safe. Like it's allowed me in a way to do a heavier
story,
a heavier, more mature, like not like mature audiences mature, but like more actually mature story.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with that, because the whole book for me is a big love letter to Anne Rice in a lot of ways. So that's a very mature thing,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead.
Yeah, some of the changes that I've seen from the writing, comparing them, is it's less titillation, salacious, and it's a bit more thought-provoking and, to be blunt, awe-inspiring. And it's turned from a cool story to a incredible story. Is the best way to describe it.
I was trying to adapt it to, to things for other folks and people I'm working with and so on. And sometimes that's not the way. And I think, everybody involved came to realize that. And of course, it's one of those things, sometimes you don't figure this stuff out fully until very late in the game, which can suck. But, the way that stuff shakes down, it's all for the best. And I'm quite happy for it. And, I'm sure Mike and Mindy are going to keep putting out a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I think a lot of stuff they put out is hilarious. And I'm just like hell yeah, you guys. Let's all back up, go our directions, and do what we got to do, and and everybody just be chill, which is the truth. It's how it works, and I'm very happy with the way things turned out.
Well, I'm glad.
Now we've got plans now for the Kickstarter. Of course, it's in pre-launch at the moment, and
so sign up.
Oh yeah, go sign up for that.
I'm gonna say something that's probably going to get me in trouble, but look, you're talented. You don't have to draw boobs. There's people out there that have to, right? You see what I'm saying? You don't have to.
I just I don't want any shade thrown at anybody or anything like that. That's just not how I operate.
I'm not. I'm just saying, you're good. You don't have to.
Yeah. Hold on, Pops.
I prefer to keep things focused on the book and the Kickstarter and where things are going. Focus on my work, and with that in mind, we've got a lot of promotional stuff going on that I'm just damned excited about. The book will launch on May I believe 9th. Let me check the calendar. Let's see. On May the 10th. The book will launch on Saturday, May the 10th.
Wow.
And we're going to be, I say we, Charles and I, along with my wife and whoever else from my little crew is going to be able to make it. We'll be at FrankenCon in Knoxville.
Oh.
And the folks at FrankenCon have really been with us on this. We've got, I'll be doing that Saturday, I'll be doing a special panel at FrankenCon. I'll be taking the stage, and then I believe it's during that panel that we'll officially launch. So that'd be a great time to be there. Also, if you go back and you watch through our streams here, the very first piece, or one of the first pieces that I started working on the streams for brides, I call it the chains cover, because it's the one where she's leaning over a table and there's these chains hanging down.
Yeah.
I've designated that cover as a FrankenCon exclusive. So for the folks who come out to FrankenCon, if they pledge, which I may just say, you know, anybody who pledges on the days of FrankenCon, when it starts up, will have the immediate access to that tier where they can get the FrankenCon exclusive cover. And then after FrankenCon, that cover will only be available for the first 48 hours, which is the 2 days of the second and third days of FrankenCon.
Yeah.
So
if you're dumb,
if you want that cover, if you want that super baller cover of her leaning over the table with the chains.
I'm a little bit confused though. You're going to launch a live show.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to be on live telling anybody about it? There's going to be a hell of a lot more people online than there are at the show. Are we going to be doing a launch?
There's going to be a number of people streaming and stuff, and then we're working out some details on that. So I figured we'd probably end up doing a live stream across this network and a couple others, because you know that's just the thing you do these days.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If it's something I need to set time aside for, or have to have a time slot ready for, you got to get with me and let me know, because you know.
Oh yeah, I will. The I just got confirmation of the.
You're not going to be home.
No, I'll be doing the remote thing from the Pitbull house that weekend.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, like I say, I just need to know ahead of time so I can set it up. You know. Reserve.
I just got the confirmation.
Cool, dude.
Confirmation of the panel, and we're going to be talking with folks today to firm up the rest of the plans and things with that. So I'll keep you in the loop, man.
Yeah, man.
You'll know what's
definitely, because you know, I mean, launch parties is one of the things we do here. We've done over 100, and this is what we do.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Oh, I got you, dude. It's all right. So, but anyway, we've got that's going on in the build up to the launch. We've got, excuse me. We're producing an 8-page ash can.
Nice.
Showing off a little bit of the story so people can get a taste of that. But that ash can is going to be limited to 50 signed and numbered copies. That's all there's going to be of that. And my understanding is my folks over at Nirvana Comics already have 10 or more of them spoken for. And I mean, that's just on word of mouth going out from this morning. So those are going to go fast. I think Nirvana Comics is going to be moving about 30 of them for me. And then number 1 will be raffled at FrankenCon. So you know, folks coming around.
So it's like I have no chance of getting the number 1.
If you buy a raffle ticket, you got a chance. Buy a raffle ticket.
No way, I'm gonna be there, dude. I told you where I'm gonna be that weekend.
I'll buy a raffle ticket for you, and if it wins, I'll hand it to you.
If it wins, you gotta come. If it wins, you gotta come meet me and hand it to me.
I'm willing to do that. I'm wacky that way.
I'm thinking like, look, guys, I'm gonna be doing DitcoCon, right, live from the floor. So we got some big things coming up too. The Roku channel's about to launch. Have you seen the new banner, guys? The Madness Entertainment banner. Oh, look at that.
I've been buried under all the stuff I got going on. So
Yeah, it's been pretty serious. I mean, the fact that Ashley,
Me too.
myself, Les, and a couple other secret crew have been working 12 to 17 hours, making sure we can get this done because it's still hot. There's still the buzz, and we don't
you're gonna have no problem. You're gonna have no problem pulling backers again for this campaign.
Right.
No problem at all.
And both Les and I feel that there'll be a lot more backers who can get this because it's not a booby fest. It's more. It feels like either Amos or Mary Shelley wrote this.
Yeah, I want it to be a horror book, not a boob book. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want it to be something I can show to the horror. Look how many horror crossover people we have in our network. We have a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like Hart Fisher, American Horrors channel on Roku. Okay.
Who's a horror what?
That's where you place an ad for this book. Get a hold of Hart. He's already helping other indie creators by putting ads on the American Horrors Network. This happens to be niche with it.
So basically,
drop an ad, guys.
Basically, with the change of publishers, it's gone from a horror book to a horror book.
It went from a horror book to a horror book.
You could slap me less.
But no, you hear what I'm saying. It's like I can pitch it to a bigger audience without the boobs. Because I don't have the boob audience. I have the people who actually like the stories and the art and the creation, right? I don't have the boob following over here. It's not saying they don't like boobs. I'm just saying that's just not our promotion target, trying to promote everybody else. Boobs sell themselves. They don't need me. Serious. Nobody selling a boob book needs my help. They're doing just fine.
Let's get back to the subject. So what are
get back on track, you guys.
Yeah.
Get back on track because I'm not really digging where that's heading. And I just don't want any of that.
What has been one of the nice thing of like the rewriting I thought was amazing. The different cleanups and things like that.
It wasn't as much a rewrite as much as it was stepping back to earlier iterations of what I had written.
Right.
And, there was a fair amount of editorial going on that I totally understood and was cool with. But with things reverting and, parting ways like that, it was like, I can take this back and really point it toward what I wanted it to be from the get-go.
Right.
And I'm happy with that. It's like, even if it, I'm just much happier with that. To me, it's like if I'm doing this and I'm not making what I want to make, then why am I doing it?
And we're not talking money. It's your storytelling, correct?
Yeah, and it's really a matter of in the end, and don't get me wrong here. Don't read something that I'm not saying because nobody pressured me into anything. But I think sometimes when you go try and play in somebody else's sandbox, you go start trying to play their games. And sometimes those aren't games that you those aren't your games. They're not the games you want to play. And so that's fine. And realizing it late in the game is still, valid. So we, no fault to anybody, no shade toward anybody. It's just a matter of, in the end, it was just best for this to be the thing it needs to be. This was the way things had to fall. And I'm perfectly happy with all of that. like I actually tickle pink with it. And then there's a lot of things that I've learned just from the way things, just from the amount of people who've come out to support the thing, regardless. You know, it's like, wow,
It's incredible.
I have like I believe in my skills, but I have very little confidence in marketing. I'm terrible at marketing. I don't like marketing. I don't like it at all, even though I know it's a necessary beast. And so, you know, a lot of times, whether it was in this or in other things that I've been involved with through the years, a lot of times I will find myself in positions where I'm working with people, hoping that you know that they'll be able to pick up the slack for the marketing, which is an area I feel weak in. And you know, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's kind of where this fell to, and yeah, I
And what's
think
really cool. Oh, go on.
I think that where I'm at with it now is a much better place with a product that's much more what I wanted. And I think the readers are the ones who are going to really get the benefit of that.
You also have to take into consideration that you are a part of this network, and we show promo ads of people in our network. So you need to have Ashley send me that promo ad so we can load it in the studios. People in the madness don't have to pay for that promotion. Okay, they get that promotion for free if you're part of our network already.
Wait, for free?
Give us the ad.
We'll get some stuff sent over to you, man. There's a
right
mountain.
there. I'll talk about that promo video right there. Have her send that to me, and then I can load it in the, you know, like the actual thing, not the YouTube link though. And then I can load it in our studios, and people can play it on their shows. That's
there's a mountain of stuff like that I'm keeping up on.
That marketing thing, that thing you're talking about, that's why I started doing this, was to help all my friends who had a day job and then tried to draw all night and didn't have no time to social media and promote their products. That's what this whole thing grew out of, bro.
Yeah.
So marketing and promotion, it's what we do.
Yes. So with the feel of the story, would you say it feels more like a Hammer film, a piece done in the 80s, a piece done in the 30s, you know, more universal horror?
With Brides, so as a setting,
yeah,
it's a nod. Like the book itself is a nod to, and actually dedicated to the memory of Anne Rice.
Okay,
that's the big one. I mean, yeah, Anne's been gone for a few years, dude.
Oh, I didn't know that. I realized that. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and something a lot of folks, you know, don't know because it's not something that you really advertise. But for a few years, Anne and I were friends.
Wow.
And she played a really important part of my development early on as an artist and a writer. Like when she was still in New Orleans and she had bought St. Elizabeth's convent that she went to school at as a little girl. She bought the convent to turn it into an art gallery for her husband's work. And the only artist who got displayed in that I'm aware of, I mean, she may have added people later on, but I know if not for the entirety of its existence, definitely for a very long time then, I was the only other artist who had anything displayed in there.
Wow.
So, yeah, she had the way she and I met is I had done a portrait of her for as a gift for a signing she was doing in Lexington, Kentucky back in the mid 90s. And the story with that was so great because she was the manager of the place presented it to her, and then I was in line to get stuff signed. And when I got up there, she kind of went off on him a little bit. She's like, why the hell is that guy who did that in that line? He should be sitting right here with me.
Wow.
And then I got to go back and sit with her, and I sat with her for, I was there for probably another 3 hours while she was signing. It was a huge line of people. And, I'm really kind of aghast, but she and I had this great conversation that day that I'll never forget. She was asking me like what my favorite book of hers was and why, and we started talking about it, and that was a whole great exchange. And then before that was over, she gave me phone numbers for her personal assistant and her private phone number, and told me to call anytime. And if I was ever in New Orleans, stop by.
That's impressive.
And of course, I was in my 20s then, and the option of making it to New Orleans was just something I didn't have the money for. But I did call her. I called her, a number of times over the following 3 or 4 years, because at the time I was writing and drawing comics, while also doing a number of other things like working in radio, working in airbrushing, working in advertising. I was all over the place. And so she, I would call her up with questions about plot and story development and writing and things. And, just because it's like, well, I've got access to one of my all-time favorite writers, I'm gonna pick her brain as long as she'll let me. And it really turned into a very nice little friendship where, I could call her up and ask her things. And, most of the time she would answer. She would, most of the time, if she was around, she answered. If she didn't answer, it'd go to her assistant who, talked to me for a minute. And I can't remember that assistant's name though. I'm terrible with names, but yeah, it was a good thing. It was something I'll always cherish. And Anne was, she was just such a classy lady. I there were times when there was one time in particular where I had some pretty dark personal stuff going on, and I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to, and I called her, and man, it was just, I used to call her goth mommy, because she was just exactly what I needed to hear, exactly when I needed to hear it, whether I liked it or not. So she was a great lady, and I love her work. So yeah, the Bride's project, part of what really leaned me towards doing something with Bride of Frankenstein is that Anne's favorite movie was The Bride of Frankenstein.
Wow.
And so, in my mind, I wanted to do something that put, vampires and Frankenstein stuff together. Obviously, it's got echoes of Anne in it like that. And, I wanted to do a book that if Anne were alive to read it, I know she would love it. I just know she would love it. So that's really the gist of where I went to with it. It started out here on the network with me drawing the character and just kind of flippantly saying, I'm just going to draw Bride of Frankenstein a few times over the next few weeks and see where it leads. And then it started turning into me writing that story, and it, it's like once I started writing that story, I could just kind of hear Anne. I could hear her response to it. It was like, in my head, I could hear Anne saying, "You need to do this."
Awesome. Unfortunately, I got to
Yeah.
fight out because I have to walk to the car place and have an appointment.
Good cardio.
Yes.
Good cardio, Charles. Good cardio.
Yes, but as always,
right.
it's been an honor.
All right, Charles, you get that ass in motion.
Actually says Anne was a beautiful lady. I didn't know her personally, but her I love her books and the person she was.
Yeah, she was awesome, man. Anne was a class act. You know, it's like there'll never be another one like her. Not at all. So yeah, I mean, getting all sappy and shit, but you know, that's kind of the big influence and impetus behind Brides, man, is Anne. Yeah. Yeah, I was very very sad when she finally left New Orleans to go to California, because you know, while New Orleans was you know, a rough trip for me to make, even until just recently, California was new. So but you know, she gets to live on in all kinds of ways in her work and stuff. So I really thought the world of her.
There's definite legacy behind her. She, people are going to be talking about her for a long time. And I mean, we all hope that we leave a legacy where people remember us. I mean, we all do, right? Yours is your art, man. Mine is, building this network and hoping it lives longer than I do. I mean, we all want to leave a legacy. Everybody who's involved in this is in their legacy.
Yep. Nose is stuffing up. It's cold in here.
Yeah, I woke up freezing. All this nice weather we've been having, and then all of a sudden I was like, what the hell? And then I got an extra blanket and I got all nice and cozy and warm, fell back asleep, was sleeping real good. Phone rang.
Let's see.
That one made me mad. I forgot to mute my fucking ringer before I went to bed. Oh, that thing was on loud, and it was like, oof, woke me up, made me mad.
Ooh.
Matthew said he just found a comic similar to his superhero novella, and he pledged $5 to it.
Nice.
It's called Lightning Girl.
There you go. If folks don't recall, these are some of the covers to Brides, some of the stuff coming up. Yep. Thought I'd pop that on here for just a minute.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then let's see. Should probably put a link somewhere to it.
To what?
I'm terrible with all this
stuff. The link is in the chat already. Right there.
Oh, well, good.
Right
there.
Yeah. It's on Rumble. I put it everywhere, man. I don't slack off. I do my job.
Nice, man. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh. Who we got on here today?
And I already signed up too. So,
Sweet. Let's see here.
Make sure Ashley be dropping that link. Make sure Ashley drops that link to the sign up in the Madness Facebook group too. Not just wait till the campaign. Drop that sign up link over there too. Let everybody know what's up.
Let's see. I think right now the link should go to it'll go to the sign up.
Yeah. And that'll change. You won't have to do anything else. When you launch, that link will be the link for the campaign. You won't have to do anything. So, you know.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, good times, good times. Yeah, I'm gonna probably edit that page a little bit, get some video stuff and things in there. I've got a bunch of stuff going on, and you know, this is my first Kickstarter, so
right.
I'm fully expecting to make some blunders along the way, but
No, we'll help you out.
That's just part of it.
We'll help you out. We're really good at this.
Yeah.
We have a team of experts, bro. We have a team of experts. We have people that have launched multiple. Hell, Chris Brown has fucking like done 20, dude. You know, I mean, we have a team of experts. We will help you. You have any kind of an issue with anything, man, hit me up. I will send you in the right direction.
Well, that is a good thing. That is a good thing.
That's part of what we love about the network, man. It's like, and it's not just the shows, it's everybody's got everybody's back. It helps promote each other. So, you know, this is it's networking is what built it. You know, everybody helps each other out. And that's what's cool about the whole thing. You redirecting this one makes it a lot easier for me to help a lot more. You know,
that's good. That's
and
good.
I don't mean with the people. I mean with the actual what we were talking about earlier. You know, the actual content. It's a lot easier for me to promote it.
Well, I'm very hopeful about how it's going to do. I've got a lot of folks who are really, really anxious to see this thing succeed. So, you know, that should be good.
You're talking to one of them. I definitely want this thing to succeed. I wanted it to succeed in the first place. I just couldn't do near as much for that. And now hey, send me the fucking trailer and shit so I can play it, you know.
Yeah, we actually made it to like almost 17,000 in pledges, and I think I've probably heard from the majority of those people since we canceled it, and I think we're going to get a lot of them back.
Oh yeah.
A whole lot.
And I think you'll probably get a few more. You know.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Well, with the folks coming on board to help promote are really serious people with really good experience and good track records. So I'm excited about that.
I hope you're counting me as one of them.
Oh, you might be one of them.
Because I'm pretty sure I got a pretty good track record helping people sell books. It's kind of, I mean, if I wasn't helping people sell books, this really wouldn't make any sense to be doing what I do. You know. And yes.
Right now,
I'm excited. I'm ready for this.
Get some work done here on a different project, working on some angel hunter stuff here. There's just a couple of pages left and this entire thing will be done. And I'm really anxious to get this off my plate. Because I can do lots of different styles of stuff, and as a professional, I get called on to do lots of styles of stuff and to be kind of a chameleon, which is cool. But I tell you what, man, where I've landed with brides and style wise and just the content of it, that's where I live. I mean, that's a world that the art style and the writing that I get to do on that are kind of the work that I think I always needed to be doing. I mean, it's when I started out in comics 32 years ago, I was writing and drawing vampire comics, you know, and you know, that brand of horror comics is something that I love that stuff so much. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Well, I mean, I could tell when you first started drawing the just because you were just doing it. There was no concept behind it, and you were just drawing all these, you know, hotties, right? And it was like, and you,
Oh, yeah.
I could hear you every week. It was a little bit more toward, there's a project in here. I think I'm gonna do something with these.
Yeah.
And it's like every week you kept, you know what I mean? And then finally you was like, hey, Pops, we're doing it now. Cool. You know.
Yeah, it's something that definitely grew. You know,
Yeah, anybody
and it
goes
needed
back,
to grow that way.
if you go back and watch the previous episodes, you can watch the idea develop in his mind as he every week a little bit more leaning toward there's something real here. I got to do something with this. You know, it's like he kept saying little stuff like that. I knew it was gonna be something right away because I could tell he was having fun doing it.
You know, that actually is kind of the biggest thing in all of it for me is like, if I'm not enjoying myself, and if there's some factor in things that's making it where I'm not enjoying it, then I probably need to like change it up somehow. And, you know, sometimes aspects of the business are really negative when it comes to that, you know, like, you know, things that you take into consideration, things that are concerns. And it's funny too, because I've dealt with plenty of bean counters in my career, and I know how that stuff goes.
Right.
And I understand. I respect it. I absolutely respect it. I mean, there are, you know, ways that I have to deal with things, you know, on a business level quite often. And it just you know, trying to square the circle between that and keeping things where it's what you want to do artistically, sometimes that's really freaking hard.
Yes.
Really hard.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, things need to, sometimes you try things to see where it lands, and then it changes, or you learn something, and that's just how it is.
And see, in me, I always hope it evolves. Okay, like with Matthew's book and the way it was like, yo, Charles, man, let's help this guy. Let's make sure this guy ends up with a product that's worthy of his time and talent, right? Because the story you know, the story has all kinds of possibilities, you know, and evolution. I don't look at it like, you know, I don't look at it like changes. I look at it like it evolves. It's growing. It's moving forward. It's not just a change. Change is boring. Evolution is awesome. Ashley has a question.
I can appreciate that.
Ashley says, tell us about Angel Hunter, Les. What is it about? What are the differences you see between drawing the Western comic versus the manga? The manga.
Well, manga. I can't help but do that because my wife's Filipino, and in their language, they have a sound they make a lot that is literally this it's this and you see it written as an N and G together. So now anytime I see an N and a G together, I'm just like manga. It just kills me. But I'm kind of a jerk with it, you know, I know. But yeah, the big differences I would say are just well, you know, first off, we're not doing, you know, right to left, you know, through Japanese
right
manga. We're doing they call it a seinen manga.
It's
And
the style, but it's written the right way.
Yeah, it's written left to right. Although one of the stretch goals I think they're doing, because as I'd lay this out, like all of my pages, everything that's laid out in this book, you could mirror it and it would be fine. So I know they're actually looking into getting a translator on board so that if it breaks a certain stretch goal, they would actually flip the whole book and have it translated into true manga. I think would be kind of dope. That'd be pretty cool. But artistically, there are weird considerations on a lot of the characters. You know, I'm adapting to larger eyes, more of there's a phenomenon when things look young, look childlike. It's called neoteny. And manga is very much characterized. The whole manga style of art is characterized by neoteny, especially in the female characters. So that's something I'm learning to adapt to with it. And I learned to embrace some of that. Just kind of neat, you know. Let's see, that's where my speed line's at. So yeah, that's probably the biggest difference or concern, is making sure that I you know, have the style down. Also, manga tends towards a lot more movement in the art. In some ways, manga actually, when you start to study it to figure out how to do it, you can really get a lot of influence for it from animation, which I got a long background in animation, so that actually works out well. There's a lot of exaggeration and hyper bending of limbs and things to get movement. So that's a concern. And then, of course, you know, one of the things that I think am starting to get a reputation for is like detail. And the manga that I personally like stuff from Junji Ito, or I'm terrible with all my manga names. There's Junji Ito's the one that always pops in my head right off the bat. His horror stuff is amazing. And then was his name Kentaro? I think it's Kentaro Miura, something like that, from Berserk. And I actually was told that my son told me a long time ago that I should be drawing manga. And I was like, "Are you crazy? I'm not a manga person." And he's like, "No." He's like, "You need to read Berserk." He said the guy who made Berserk cited Bernie Wrightson as one of his big influences. And then he showed me Berserk. And like, if it hadn't have been for the book Berserk, I wouldn't be doing this particular book. Because I wouldn't have seen that there was a place for my voice inside manga. But you know, there is. And so I'm just kind of doing what I can to smash that stuff together.
I've noticed that there is a ton of people who credit Bernie Wrightson no matter what style they draw.
Yes.
Some people actually emulate it, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I unabashedly emulate Bernie quite a bit.
Yeah, you're good at it.
It's like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. Bernie's stuff ain't broke. Bernie's stuff is freaking perfection.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I love that.
Oh man,
this is fun. I got the guy getting smashed into a wall, and this is one of the other things that I'm finding with doing manga is that I can go back to some simpler stuff sometimes that actually works well. Like there's some little tricks and things in some of what I'm doing on this page that are very reminiscent of late 70s Frank Miller. So I dig that. like where I just did, this shape here that lets you can kind of discern that there's bricks going on there. And then why did it not fill that in the way I wanted it to? Because it's poopy. That's why. Here we go. I said it's poopy. That's why. It's poopy. Poop. That's poop. Poopy. I think I've got a break in a line right here is why it did that. Here we go. Let's try that again. Dang it, Bobby. There we go. So that shape gives you the wall. And then we can add a few little things here and there, to kind of give it the feel of some bricks and whatnot. So that's a nice little trick. So I dig that. One of my favorite things that I've gotten from working on a manga is that I love that the majority of manga is black and white. Love it. Love it. Cannot stress how much I love that. I get tired of all the color. Probably not a popular thing to say, but I like seeing the drawings. I like seeing actual drawings. And with manga, most of the time it's going to be black and white with shades of gray. And those shades of gray come from like washes or halftone patterns. And so I had never really worked with halftone patterns before working on this book. And I really got into doing it, and I'll show you some stuff here. If you can see the story view here as I scroll, so I'm looking at it and not looking at the feed. So are you seeing
I
pages
made you
go
full
by?
screen. I made you full screen, so we're all seeing what you see.
Cool. So like there you can see there's a ton of use of a gray and those halftone patterns that I think is super cool. There we go. Let's zoom in. So like all throughout this, there's a long sequence that takes place in kind of a jungle. And I went nuts on halftone stuff with that. So like here you really get a lot of depth in the panels because the trees in the distance are done with halftones. If those were completely black, everything would you wouldn't be able to tell what was what. But being able to work with those grays and shades of gray like that lets me create depth in a black and white piece and still let the line art live. I've been very tempted, and I am very tempted to take brides, and I'm planning on doing both a color and black and white version. People have the option of,
right?
And I'm tempted to take the black and white version and have it go over it with like washes and halftones like this. Just because I think it would look really cool. Yeah, here's a good one where you've got a shot looking up, like directly up into the canopy of the forest, and I'm very happy with the way those different elements. You've got the foliage down here in the extreme foreground, the guy in the middle, the spider creatures tossing their webs above, and it just keeps stacking and going on. And under normal circumstances, I would have approached that very differently, but because of having the gray tone thing available, I cut loose with it, and it was fun. It was very cool. And my nose is stuffing up something fierce right now.
Well, we have gone past the hour mark. Anytime you're ready to.
There's a good example of that neoteny stuff I was talking about, where I just cut loose. It's funny because Todd McFarlane does that a lot. Todd drawing women, especially back in the day, a lot of his stuff had a very manga feel to it. So stuff very influenced by Michael Golden. Oof. Oh, my nose is stuffing up something first. Let's see. Yeah, anywho, I'm sure if Ricard is watching this stream, he'll be super happy seeing some Angel Hunter stuff show up. So, oh man, got to blow my nose and hit some nasal spray in a minute. But I think that's probably going to about do it for me today. But I got a bunch of things I need to get onto. I'll see Levi backstage.
Yeah, me and him gonna have a little conversation after the show. Just so I didn't have to make a new studio or new. Like I said, here's Lake. Pop into the show. We'll bullshit, you know.
That is cool. That is cool. Well, y'all, let me switch over here. Let's see, where are we going here? I'll bring my girls back up and leave y'all with my little slideshow of covers from Brides. And
everybody go check it out. Links over there in the chat. You know
that one right there. The blue one with the chains is the exclusive for FrankenCon.
There you go. There you go. And
all right, y'all. I think we got links and stuff out there. So
where's FrankenCon at? Where's it at?
FrankenCon takes place in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yep. Good times. It's a good show.
There you go.
All right, y'all. Peace out, folks.
Y'all have a great day. We appreciate your support. Peace.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join